Uh, Today we are to learn another poem by John Donne, and the title of the poem is The Flea. Now, first of all, let me tell you that what does the title indicate? The flea means not a fly. It seems to be a fly, but actually it is a small insect and it has no wings. It jumps only, but it bites and sucks the blood, almost like mosquito. But it is not mosquito, it is not fly. It is a different sort of an insect. So this is the subject of the poem. You will be surprised that in lyrics generally objects of nature and those things which please our heart are described. They become the topic, they become the central idea of the poem, and hence our feelings towards that particular object would be there, and we like it. I mean, in lyrics we have found a sun, uh, rivers, mountains, open fields, and animals, uh, air, seasons. Moreover, there are also human things, love, death, and then various things which take place in day-to-day life of human beings. They are also part of subjects. I mean, birth, going to school, parting with someone. Uh, these are the feelings. And here in this poem, the poet describes about a flea that is surprising, and that is what metaphysical poetry is. It shocks us. The idea of the poet is to give you something new, mysterious thing. We hardly think of a flea, but in 16th century, in Renaissance time, there were some poets who wrote about this object. It means it was a very popular one, and John Donne also picks up that subject from those poets. So he finds out this one from his predecessors. Well, but difference between John Donne and his predecessors is that earlier poets wrote about the flea, and that is the pure object of the writing. While in John Donne, flea is not the object. No doubt it is there, but it is a direct reference indicating towards the other thing. So it becomes a part of conceit. So through that title, uh, we come to know that it must be something surprising. We want to know through what he says by this object of flea. Let us see. So that is how the title surprises us. It leads us to think, and to make us think is the purpose of the metaphysical poets. We cannot imagine through play what would be there, what would be the idea, because flea is not the pleasing object that we say, ah, it's a wonderful thing, or oh, we would love to read something. So it startles, and that makes us to read the poem. Now, let me talk about the theme of the poem, uh, and try to connect it with the title. The theme of the poem is that uh, one should uh, remove the wrong concepts of virginity or so-called physical love. So here, uh, the beloved or the narrator wishes his beloved to come out from so-called traditional ideas of uh, coyness, and against physical union, etc. The theme is this. And now, how it would connect with the title, The Flea? It seems there is no connection at all, because the flea is an object, a trivial object. Nobody would think about it. Nobody would look at it. Actually, it is, you can say, uh, an object which nobody would like to see. On the contrary, people would try to kill it because it bites. And its idea with the love or physical love, union of the two lovers, would not be thought of, and hence that is so. Well, uh, this theme is as usual found into the poetry of Donne. We have seen earlier poem where also poet indicated his physical love, and through that one wants to attain immortality, or you can say ecstasy. And the poem named with this ecstasy also talked about that union. uh, Throughout the poem we found that perhaps John Donne is talking about sublime love, divine love, or platonic love, which he was against it. But towards the end, we came to know that even for that, one wants to achieve that one. One needs the uh, primary things, and that is body. So, bodily love, physical love, that may lead to spiritual love or ecstasy. Same way here, it is again repeated in this poem. There are these three stanzas, and each stanza is having irregular lines. I don't say that scheme. These three are uh, devised in a very surprising manner. Hardly you find such kind of arrangement in a poem. Uh, there are three couplets, and last couplet is having something different division. Uh, in all, one stanza contains 9 lines, and we will see how these are arranged. First of all, we read the poem. Let us see the beginning. Mark that beginning of a metaphysical poetry is always strange, and it confuses us. Who is the speaker? Who is the listener? Uh, where is the setting, etc. We read, and then when we come to know, mark. Look, this is the first word in the poem, mark. But this flea, very first line refers the title, the flea. Mark, but this flea, and mark in this. Again, mark, the word is repeated. And mark in this, how little that which thou deniest me is. Two times the word has been used, mark. Mark in this play, mark in this, how little, something very little, that which thou deniest me is. So let me read something more, and I will try to explain you. Me it sucked first, and now sucks thee. And in this flea, our two bloods mingled be. Now let us understand the 4 lines. The beloved wants to draw his the lover wants to draw his beloved's attention towards some particular matter, and it seems to be very important, and that's why he said that mark. And two times in the one line is repeated. It means it is very important. You pay attention. This is very vital. It means this is a colloquial style. Two lovers are there. They are sitting together, and the lover has asked something. Look, this is very important. The lover has asked something from his beloved, and the beloved has denied it. She is not willing to give something. She is against it, and the lover does not like it. He wished that his beloved should have granted that demand. Now, what is the demand? We will come to know. But the lover has demanded something. She has denied it, and according to the lover, whatever was the demand, it was very small one, not a big one. And that's why he compares his demand with something, and he says that look, this I demand. It is very small one, not a big one. Mark this. It was very small thing. And let us see what that small demand according to the lover is. The metaphysical poetry is wonderful because it makes the argument, and these arguments are rational. We are led to believe the truth, and that is how Donne is also a very clever lawyer, you can say. Whatever he wishes to convey, he does it well. Now, let us see uh, what was his demand and how he conveys, rather makes understand his beloved whatever he wishes to do. So, first of all, he makes a stage, primary things he tells, and that is, he says that meat sucked first, the flea bit the lover first, and now sucks thee. Then the flea jumped from the lover's body and went to the beloved's body, and there it also sucked. The flea sucked at first the lover, and then it sucked the beloved. It means the flea sucked both of them. And in this play, now things are coming. Our two bloods mingled be. Look, this is metaphysical poetry. In the body of Flea, now anybody can find two bloods have been mixed up. Now we never would think that a poet can have such kind of an imagination. Uh, Bloods are different of two lovers, but Flea becomes a medium of a union. Look, that is how it is conceived. The lover wants union with the beloved one, and she has denied it. But the Flea made union of two lovers, not physically, but through the body of Flea. Flea has sucked lover's blood, so lover's blood is in the body of a flea, and then the flea sucked beloved also, so beloved's blood is also in the body of a flea. So body of a flea contains blood of lovers, and they are mixed up. It means two lovers are found in terms of blood in the body of Flea. Look, this is exaggeration. This is conceit. This is unimaginable, unbelievable. We can never think that such kind of an idea can come, and here it is so. As I told you, the lover wants physical union with the lover, and it is not done outside, but indirectly in the body it has been done. So that is what the lover wants, and she has denied it. No doubt in any custom or social cultures, physical union of lovers before marriage would be denied, and she is right. But lovers have their own demands. They wish something and they demand this, and according to the lover, it is a very small thing. She is coy. She does not want to grant that thing. She does not admit that proposal. She has certain limitations, boundaries, or other social things. But it is a matter of losing the virginity, and people would be against it. Family members would be against it. Parents would grudge it, and hence a woman would always will have her limits. But the lover is rebellious, is rebelled, he insists that it is not a big matter to lose virginity. Come and let's have our life. That is what he wants. And to convince her, he asks her to mark the play, mark that what she does, and through that you will come to know. So blood from me and blood uh, from you is mixed up in this plea. These are the 4 lines. And confess it. This cannot be said a sin or shame or loss of maidenhood. Yet this enjoys before it woo, and pampered swells with one blood made of two. And this, alas, is more than we would do. Now, the poet wishes that how it is confessing. He says that confess it. Now, confess means acknowledge it, how it takes place. Confess it. This cannot be said. Um, you cannot say, you confess yourself that is it a sin? Is it a shame? Or do you think that this is loss of maidenhood? That is how the poet makes the argument. It means in our social customs, this is a sin. Physical union of lovers before marriage. And if it is found out, it would be shame. So sin, shame, and through that one would lose the virginity, woman chastity. So when the flea sucks the blood, bites, it cannot be considered a sin. Who will say? Is it a shame? Or did you lose your virginity? That is how the poet makes. And this enjoys. Even though, look, the word has been, before it woo, a lover would woo a woman. Uh, they would woo each other, and then they would will have their advanced stage. Means one would try to please the another um, person, and ultimately they have this joy. But here, that courtship, that period of pleasing a person is not at all there. How much things a person do to please another person, whether a lover or beloved one. Many things are done, and then ultimately somebody is willing for certain approvals. But here, uh, Flea has not done anything. Flea has not wooed this lady. Flea has not talked to her. Flea has not tried to please her. Flea has not done anything so that the woman can be very happy. So before courtship, before even this stage, how Flea is very happy, how Flea is very lucky that she can have this union, this pleasure. She can have that sort of ultimate happiness through that. And um, for that, when a flea has bitten you, it doesn't mean that flea has made any sin. Flea has no shame, or rather, it is not a shame for you also. Forget about the flea. But if a flea bites you, is it a shameful thing? If a flea bites you, do you lose your maidenhood? So, no sin, no shame, no loss of virginity, and yet it has been done through flea. Because in flea, the blood of two lovers have been mingled. So, this is the purpose of the uh, lover, that in physical union also such things would not be there as you consider it is a sin or shame or loss of virginity. Nothing, forget it. That is what the poet wants to say. And he says that this uh, pampered swells, because now the flea has fed itself with blood. It is swelling. When the food is in the body, it grows a little bit fat. So the flea has now swelled with one blood made of two. It had only one blood, blood of mine, but now it has bitten you, and your blood is also there. So two bloods are there in the flea. And this, alas,